Hello everyone, and welcome to my first post for Technology Enhanced Creative Writing. First of all, please don't be distracted by the hair, just look right here, you'll be fine. So this is one of two modules in my second semester. It's week one. The title is Technology Enhanced Creative Writing for Advanced Learners. I'm very excited to start this course. I wanted to take this opportunity to think about what I hope to gain, what I hope to learn from this module. I actually do write. I'm not a writer, but I've written a diary since I was a child, and I do write a blog. Prior to this one, I wrote a travel blog, writing about my experiences living in China, living here in Beijing. I stopped that to start this one, which is more specifically related to teaching and learning languages. And but I didn't have any guidance, and I don't know if I do this very well, if I write very well. So I'm wondering if there is some crossover, or whether there's some transferable skills that I might gain from this creative writing course that could help me structure what I write and perhaps improve what I write. So that's one of the hopes. Talking of structure, I have no idea how to begin to construct a creative writing activity. Actually, I do have a few ideas, but I've never done that formally, and so I'm interested in learning how to structure, how to introduce creative writing into the classroom, and how to structure it, how to what parts make up a creative writing lesson. So I hope to better understand the basics of creative writing lessons, and of course I want to be able to take what I learn and apply it directly into the classroom. So I guess my final hope is that what I do is good enough to, what I learn is good enough to actually to use, and I hope that I'll find some victims, or should I say students, to try out whatever creative writing activities that I come up with. In terms of creative writing myself, this is not something that I've ever really done, but I have thought about in terms of my Chinese language learning, and I actually started a Weibo, which is their version of a blog, which I never wrote in, I've never written in, and the idea was actually to perhaps write some stories, either to write a diary or to write some creative stories in Chinese as a way of practicing, but I didn't really know how to begin, where to begin, and that's kind of fallen by the wayside. So perhaps this will inspire me and give me some guidance on how to begin for my language learning. In terms of creative writing and my teaching, it's been very minimal. I can think of really two examples. The first one is a funny story with university students. And I was teaching Thanksgiving. Now, yeah, I'm British, so I know very little about that. However, I did my research, and we learnt the appropriate vocabulary, we learnt a little bit of the history and the customs. We were coming to the end of the lesson, and my homework is to imagine that an American friend has invited you to Thanksgiving dinner. You know, write about what happens and write about your experience. And yeah, the class, we still had some time, so I asked them to begin. You know, maybe we had 10 minutes. And I remember that a silence kind of crept across the classroom, and there was a fiddling of thumbs and kind of people looking at each other, kind of puzzled looks. So I had to ask, like, is everything okay? Do you understand the task? And someone said, teacher, we've never been to a Thanksgiving dinner. How can we write about it? And it's then that I understood that there was some sort of block or barrier to getting the task, that it was an imaginative task, that you don't have to have been to America or have eaten any of the food or have had any Thanksgiving experience to complete this task. And so that was very interesting from like a cultural perspective, that the idea of a creative writing exercise, improv, imagination, was unusual, and without more guidance, without more structure, they weren't able to complete this task. Was a complete fail. Fast forwarding to another task that I followed from a textbook, and it was for younger learners, and I can't remember the topic, but I remember that we listened to some sounds and we talked about what we heard, and then we looked at some pictures and we talked about what we saw and how we felt about what we saw, and then we read a little poem. And I think this was very nice because there was a lot of structure and it was something that the students could easily follow. And I think if we compare that to how I had taught the previous creative writing class, where I had given them lots of facts but there was no model, and I found that the young learner creative writing class went very well. They had lots to follow. They were able to listen and talk about what they hear. They were able to draw something, which always works well with young learners, something fun. And then they were able to kind of brainstorm their ideas about how they felt about the things that they drew and how they felt about the things that they heard, to make a poem. So that worked really well. However, I don't know whether they were able to understand it as a creative writing task, the fact that they weren't necessarily writing things that were factual, just so on a deeper level I don't think that they got what creative writing was, but they really enjoyed it. In terms of technology-enhanced creative writing, I have no experience. Like I said, through Weibo, my Chinese blog, maybe I'm going to have that experience soon, but I don't know. I don't have any experience of setting that up. I think that that could be a little bit difficult. Organising, let's say if we were doing blogs and managing those blogs. So I'm interested to find out what advice we're going to be given on this course. In terms of the benefits of creative writing in the foreign language classroom, I think that it's just good to do new and fun and exciting things and challenging things, not just for the students who may never have written a creative piece before, but also for the teacher to come up with a fun topic and to actually structure and deliver the class. Perhaps it's something that he or she has never done before. I've only done it very vaguely, perhaps not so well. So I think just doing something new, fun, difficult, varied will hopefully inspire the students, engage the students and motivate them in their language learning. The fact that it might possibly online and there's an actual record might be good too, because it's something that they could keep and look back on in the future. So those are all my thoughts about at the beginning of the Technology Enhanced Creative Writing course. See you next time, and hopefully with a new hairstyle. Bye.